This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. I can't believe it's already been 2 years since the beloved Queen had passed away. We all know that life has to move on, but I think many of you can agree that things just don't feel the same. I think it's really important to remember the unselfish life of service the Queen gave for 70 years and the positive impact that she left not only on her country, but on the rest of the world. So, in the Queen's memory, I think as we are living through some dangerous and uncertain times, now more than ever, we really need to hold on to the things that the Queen held so dearly to maintain stability. And those were faith, family, and sense of duty. The satanic forces that not only entered this family, but also the rest of the world want to destroy all of that. Where there is good, evil will always try to rear its ugly-looking viper face. No surprises that Duchess Dighead is at it again, popping up like an annoying yeast infection, timing all of her PR pup pieces with Oprah to fall and coincide on the second anniversary of the Queen's passing. Daily Mail headline, Meghan Markle speaks at Oprah Winfrey's book club in California on the eve of the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death, with hometown hero Harry's memoir, Spare, proudly on display. I'm not going to get into reading this article because nobody cares, but what I will say is the fact that they're using the Queen's death to promote this is gross. Not only did Meghan Markle go on global television with Oprah Winfrey and lied her face off, stabbing the Queen in her back, but here she is again on the anniversary of the beloved Queen's death, sticking 2 middle fingers up at the family and the world, reminding people of what she did and what she said in order to keep tarnishing the late monarch's legacy. So it's no secret that the Queen loved wearing her pearls. So is it a coincidence that Meghan decides to wear pearls when she never wears pearls on the second anniversary of the Queen's passing? No, it's not a coincidence. In fact, everything that Meghan does is intentional. I can already see this devil lining up the next set of headlines where Meghan Markle gives a sweet nod to the late Queen by wearing this one piece of jewelry, or Meghan Markle, just like the Queen in her love for pearls. Wait for it. It's coming, because this is what assholes like this do. Meghan Markle is nothing but a waste of time. A few days ago, she had all her PR people putting out this bullshit where Meghan Markle deeply regrets how she exited the royal family in 2020. No, she doesn't. Because if she did, she would not be showing up with Oprah, taking photos and making sure that they're being released on the second anniversary of the Queen's passing, so her name is kept in the headlines. You know, to go into saying that she believes her comments on the royal family were not received in the right way. So is that another way of saying that the royal family is stupid and they didn't understand what they saw with their own eyes come out of your mouth, Meghan? More than anything, both Oprah and Meghan want people to forget that that interview ever happened, because not only was it damaging to both Harry and Meghan, but it also affected Oprah Winfrey's reputation and still does.
Unlike what you see in the movies, there's no class on how to speak, how to cross your legs, how to be royal. There's none of that training. That might exist for other members of the family. That was not something that was offered.
But CNN has been told the Queen dispatched her closest aides to Kensington Palace, Lady-in-Waiting Lady Susan Hussey and dresser Angela Kelly, to offer advice, guidance and tutelage to the Duchess. Royal aides say this was an unprecedented gesture of support for a new member of the family, and that every department of the Queen's household was open to Meghan.
And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging.
You are big fucking damaging by not saying who it is. Because if you're not going to say who it is, you mean that the whole royal institution is all racist, right? Versus you say that one person is racist. So may I ask, what is your purpose in saying this thing? You just want to damage them all, right?
Brown, that would be a problem. Are you saying
the
that?
baby is fucking white lah.
I wasn't able to follow up with why, but that if that's the assumption you're making, I think that feels like a pretty safe one.
Point of the matter here is that we all know that Meghan was very cruel to the Queen, especially in her last moments of her life, and that I think is unforgivable. Never forget that it was this charlatan who was the reason for why Prince William, Prince Edward, and Sophie not being able to say their final goodbye to the Queen. This poor excuse for a human being had the audacity to demand that she be by her husband's side in the last moments of the Queen's life. I'm glad the royal family slammed the door on Meghan's face. She deserved it after all she said in the Oprah interview. And let's not forget, this is before even the mockumentary was coming out. Thank God the Queen was not around to see that.
Pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty.
I don't believe for a fucking second, okay? Nobody fucking believes you, Meghan. She's like, I went into it naively. Yeah, sure.
Now, I believe that this person who we're calling Meghan had no intention on staying in the royal family. Her mission really was to go in there and cause trouble. She is an agent of chaos, and that's exactly what she did. Meghan is a hateful Marxist socialist who went into this with the intention of causing damage. Meghan had no intention on staying in the royal family. Her mission was to go in there and purposely use racism to drive division within the UK. And this was the intent all along. This person who we call Meghan and whoever had been backing her had been funding and supporting hate. If anybody that should be arrested, it should be this one. Duchess Dickhead didn't want to succeed, despite being given every resource and more. Her mission was to go in there, to cause trouble, and then to leave. Meghan had zero reason to fail.
Bent over backwards as far as I could see. I think there was complete hospitality and kindness and grace. Everyone wanted to make it a success, a current royal source added. The Queen's senior team were directed to avail themselves, to ensure she had all the support needed.
Now, I've said this before, there is more to this story and a lot bigger than what the mainstream media has fed us. From the very beginning, we've been manipulated, we've been lied to, and I think it's time that we take back the control of believing with what we see with our own eyes and using our gut instincts to come to our own conclusions. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this last clip. It's definitely one of my favorites that I could watch over and over of Catherine not having to say a word and putting Meghan in her place. Enjoy.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
I was such a fraud.